the Arkansas Pine Bluff. So the Panthers, the division champions out of the West, they fall to 1-3 right now, so they are really behind the 8 ball. But as you look at Grambling, that huge opportunity this afternoon to take a level up in the standings. If Alcorn can get the victory here this afternoon, they're really going to put themselves in excellent positions for the final stretch run.
All roads lead to Jackson next week. Jackson State 2-0 in the division. On the eastern side, Florida A&M 1-0, and of course, those two teams play next week in a huge matchup over in Jackson.
Yeah, that is going to be a big one next week. In Jackson, Florida A&M, the Rattlers 1-0, 3-2 overall. See Alabama State still hanging on. They've had a lot of quarterback issues down there with Coach Eddie Robinson Jr., but he's got them hanging on right now, 1-1, third place in the East.
And you see the captains on the field for both the Braves and the Tigers. The key here is if you're the Grambling State University Tigers, of course, like you said, they need a win just to stay pace with what's going on right now. But now, how big is this Southern Carolina game in Houston today?
It is a huge game between the Jaguars and the Tigers. Labor Day Classic against Purdue. Lost a couple of weeks ago against Jackson State, an opportunity at home for them to get a big win against Southern. So that game is huge as well. We are in mid-October, my friends, so the SWAC conference schedule is loaded, and you know the West is always wild.
It is wacky in the West, and we're just about ready for kickoff here at Eddie G. Robinson Memorial Stadium. And as we told you, you look at Cedric Thomas in his first year as the head coach of the Alcorn State University Braves, served under Fred McNair, and he said during our conversation that he was ready to take this job.
Yeah, absolutely. He said he was prepared for this. It was an easy transition for him to move over from that defensive coordinator seat to the head coaching seat. Sometimes it can be very difficult when you take that next step up. But he said, look, he's a man of faith. He's been preparing for this opportunity his entire life, and now he's taking advantage of it with his Braves off to a 2-0 start. But they come into enemy territory here today in the hole in Grambling.
Well, a little history here for you. Of course, the Grambling State University Tigers, the Grambling State University family opened this stadium in 1983. Their first opponent, Alcorn State University. 22,000 fans on hand to see that game. And then in 1994, a gentleman by the name of Steve McNair made his only appearance here at the stadium in front of over 25,000 fans taking on Grambling State University. So this team has brought some very large crowds in the past.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of history there between these two ball clubs, and they're looking to set history once again here today.
First down and 10 for the Alcorn State University Braves as they will come out on the field first. And we talked about Vaughn as the quarterback of this team, and not only is he dangerous with his arm, but he's got 469 yards rushing and 8 touchdowns on the ground.
This kid has been electric. You can scheme the perfect defense against Xavier Vaughn, but his speed will outrun your defenders. So Grambling this afternoon, they're going to have to be very careful with their rush lanes. You don't want to over-pursue this graduate student quarterback who comes in with a lot of quarterbacking experience.
First down for the Alcorn State University Braves.
Grambling, they've been in the green zone 20 times so far this season. They've only converted 12 of those into touchdowns. They do have 5 field goals, so 17 out of 20 is a pretty good percentage, but you'd like to see that touchdown percentage a little bit higher.
And we have another stoppage of play. See a Grambling Tiger in the end zone. I believe that's C.J. Knighton down on the ground. You know, while we have this opportunity, you know, this Grambling Tiger offense, this is something that, you know, during the open week, you know, one of the things that Coach Joseph said is we needed a few days away from each other. We've been going hard at it. We need a few days away from each other to kind of get things going again.
Yeah, absolutely. They've been going at it, I mean, really since the summer. You know, you go through summer practice, then you get into training camp once school starts, and you go all the way through, and you really don't have an opportunity for a break. So he's like, look, I'll let the guys get away for 3 or 4 days because as coaches, we needed a break from them. As players, they needed a break from us. And once we all got back together on Sunday. They were able to regroup, start looking at some film, start their prep for Alcorn.
Tigers have a second down. Crawley in the shotgun. J.R. Waters in motion. Marquise Harris, the tight end, getting the touchdown.
You see Alcorn, they bring front five, but it's one-on-one coverage on the outside. Harris using that big 6'5" frame against the smaller defender. Perfect throw by Crawley in the corner of the end zone.
And now they are going to review this, it looks like. The question is, did he get his foot down in bounds? That's the question. Take a look at that play one more time. This is Marquise Harris.
See, when he gains possession there, that left foot, oh yeah, it's way out of bounds. Yeah, it's not even close, so that one's going to come back.
And at first the question was the right foot down when he caught the football, but clearly in this replay it was not.
Yeah.
So that means that depending on...
As we look at the right foot, you see it down, but the ball is not in his hands yet. Now he's starting to get control of the football, and that right foot is off the turf at that point. So I believe this one will come back.
Well, the officials will sort this one out with the replay booth. Of course, earlier this week, I had a chance to talk to head coach Mickey Joseph and said that his general manager, Joe Nix, had a successful kidney transplant. As a matter of fact, during the coaches show, Coach Nix FaceTime Coach Joseph saying, "Hey man, just want to make sure you're all right." He said, "Will you go to bed?" And so he said, "Well, I'll be back next week." He said, "You had a whole kidney transplant, Joe. You're not going to be back next week."
Right,
so
right.
we want to give our well wishes to Joe Nix. I know he's watching the game and
Absolutely.
he's rooting on the Tigers. Successful kidney transplant. Incomplete pass was what we thought it was going to be. And it can't be mad at that call. I mean, just looking at the replay, you could see where there was clearly that right foot was not down when he came down with the football.
Yeah, and an excellent job by camera crew, able to pick that one up and make it a clear, easy call for the replay officials.
Got spotters all over the place. That brings up third down. Crawley, he's in a little trouble. He escapes and just throws it away. Brings up fourth down. Lots of pressure coming his way. Malachi Bailey all over him.
Yeah, Malachi Bailey. Spotsville as well in the backfield. So both of those guys had a beat on Crawley. The Alcorn defense holds once again.
Malachi Bailey, 22 tackles this year. And he's got 3 quarterback hurries. You can make that 4.
Tigers getting some early action here this afternoon in the backfield. Came into the ball game, only averaging 2.2 yards per carry.
Third down again, and Brendan Barley in on the tackle. And man, Barley has really improved his game for the Grambling Tigers. Barley's second on the team in tackles. 25 tackles, 3 interceptions so far this year. And that is the end of quarter number 1 here in Grambling. Alcorn State with the early lead, 7-0.
Forces Alcorn once again to have to punt this football away. Just no time in the pocket that time for Vaughn. Barley in on it.
How about some classic games last year at Jack Spinks Marino Cassim Stadium, 25-24. Alcorn won that game. This punt coming down at about the 35. 30. Big run back for the Grambling State University Tigers. And it's going to be Jalen Johnson, the redshirt junior from New Orleans, getting a big run back. And the Tigers will have the ball at the 20-yard line. So a short punt and a great return.
Yeah, very low line drive kick. Didn't allow for the kick coverage team to get downfield. So a great return sets up Grambling in excellent territory.
Was there a flag on the play?
I did not see one, but I do see the officials huddling at around the 27-yard line of Alcorn.
But the back judge threw the flag, and it's all the way back at the 42-yard line of Grambling. Make it the 47-yard line of Grambling. So there's no foul on the play, and it'll be first down Grambling.
So great opportunity here for the G-men. See Coach Mickey Joseph there, not happy.
Talk about a family tree of coaching. Flag was picked up, and it'll be first down and 10 for the Grambling Tigers. You know, when you talk to Coach Joseph, he talks all the time about his brothers, and all of them support one another, of course, and all of them coaches in some way or shape or another. First down and 10. Tigers trying to close to a first down. Howard, man, he is just on all cylinders today.
I mean, he came into this ball game with only 3 carries on the season. He's had 3 on this drive.
Flags all over the place.
Man.
And just as you have drive boosters, you have drive killers.
Got a 3rd and 1. It's going to go against Alcorn. Looks like they had too many men on the field.
Well, that is a big break for the Grambling Tigers. The ball moves inside the 15-yard line.
Definitely not something that Coach Cedric Thomas wanted to see for Alcorn. 12 men on the field, I believe. So now that's going to be an automatic first down for the G-men. And
they will move the ball inside the 10-yard line down to the 7. First down and goal now for the Grambling Tigers.
See if they keep giving it to the big monster in the backfield.
Here's a give inside the 5-yard line. That's going to be Robinson. Flags all over the place.
And Javon Robinson is down. He took a shot. He's probably their most explosive player on the offense. Also their smallest, only 5'6", 180 pounds, out of Homestead High School in Florida City, Florida.
When you saw the players call over the trainers.
Take a look at it here on the replay. You see him get hit from the back, falls on the football, and the defender falls on him. So you're hoping maybe he just got the wind knocked out of him.
He's still on the ground.
It's Demarion Edwards that fell on him, and Edwards is not a small character.
No.
6 foot 220.
And we still have the matter of this flag on the play. Javon Robinson now up on his feet.
And this is going to be a dead ball personal foul against the Tigers. And that's going to back this football all the way up near the 20-yard line.
Ooh.
Just inside the 20 at the 19.
I believe it's whatever happened on the sideline, and we couldn't see that happened right against the wall down behind the cheerleaders. And instead of first and goal inside the 5, you're first and goal inside the 20.
It's actually going to be second down because the down will count dead ball.
It will be second down.
So now this changes the complexion of this drive entirely. Look at Malachi Bailey now lined up over the center.
He's tackled at about the 21, 22-yard line.
Gideon Spotsville, we've called his name a couple of times this afternoon, the big sophomore.
30-second timeout called by Alcorn.
Big sophomore out of Baton Rouge, so that's going to force a punting situation for Grambling. Tough first half for Miles Crawley thus far. 1 interception's been sacked once, but he's been under immense heat from this Alcorn Brave defense. You know, and defensive coordinator Jason Rollins, he talked to us this week, says, look, we have to be aggressive against Crawley in the pocket. We cannot allow him time to sit back there and dissect our secondary.
This kick comes down, and Alcorn will get a great opportunity here late in the first half. On the return for Marion Blakes, the sophomore from Shaw, Mississippi. Flag back at the 30-yard line.
See if we can pick up and see where a penalty may have occurred.
We had one Alcorn player that lost his helmet.
Penalty marker is down at the Grambling 41. Officiating staff has had a busy first 30 minutes sorting out the details.
Right now, combined 8 penalties for 90 yards between the two teams. And then add on this one here, 9th penalty of the half.
We've had a couple of offsetting penalties as well.
Yeah, we could have had even more. That's right.
There are fouls by both teams on the play. Personal foul, illegal hands to the face. Receiving team, number 21. During the return, personal foul, number 20, kicking team. The penalties, actually, the hands to the face has been declined. The participation foul will be enforced. 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
All right, I think we got that straight now. Are we confused yet?
I'm going to let you handle that one. So we had 2 penalties on the play, 1 against each team.
The ball will remain with Alcorn, first down.
The ball will remain with Alcorn. Now let's see where the ball is spotted.
It's going to be at the 48-yard line of Grambling. So after all of that, it's at the 48. And now head coach Mickey Joseph, you see on the field, is talking to a couple of the officials. There's head coach Cedric Thomas. Got quite a congregation on the field talking to the officials. Defense getting ready to come back out for the Grambling Tigers, but I think there's just some confusion about who did what and how it was all called.
Yeah, and how the penalties are to be enforced. And that's what Mickey Joseph is trying to get an understanding of, and seems like he's okay with the explanation. So Alcorn will have it at the Grambling 48. No timeouts for the Braves.
That's right. Pepsi halftime show. We'll see the Alcorn State and Grambling State University bands come out on the field to entertain the crowd here at Eddie G. Robinson Memorial Stadium.
Truck.
Xavier throws. And he gets it out to Truck Griffin. And a first down for Alcorn.
Yeah, I don't know how you leave Truck Griffin uncovered in that formation. Because if he's not blocking, he's a receiver, and he is wide open. I mean, both receivers are wide open in the flat, not a black jersey in sight. And that gets Alcorn all the way down now near the 25-yard line.
And now just about back to live action. Here is Vaughn. And flags all over the place.
Yeah, that was a big lineman for Grambling trying to get off the field. And good job by Xavier Vaughn noticing that and called for the quick snap. I believe it was Noah Nelson trying to get off the field. And his 40 time is not fast enough to get from that far hash all the way over here to the near sideline.
No. And it looks like we have a timeout on the field.
But Grambling may have called timeout before the penalty. They had 2 left, so let's see if they got the timeout first.
There's no foul for illegal substitution as the game was stopped because of an injured player. There also will be no option of the 10-second runoff will also not be enforced. The next down play will be third down.
All right, so third down.
The clock will start on the snap.
All right, so you see the player coming off here. But they say there was an injured player on the field, so there will not be an illegal substitution. Now, they said it would be third down. I believe
Number
it should
6
be.
was an injured player. He must leave for one play.
Get this.
Andrew Jones was the injured player then for the Grambling Tigers.
Now, the down marker.
Team flag on the play at about the 8-yard line.
And another penalty marker in the defensive secondary.
Holding. Defense. Number 83. The penalties decline. The play results in a first down.
Penalty against the Grambling Tigers and another first down for the Alcorn State University Braves. That penalty was on Joel Williams, a graduate student from Baton Rouge.
So Vaughn, for the first time this afternoon, saw some open space in that Grambling defensive backfield and was able to take off and pick up the first down.
Here is the give. That's Sewell. Inside the 15 to about the 14-yard line. Make it the 11th.
They have to run up and spike it now.
And that's a fumble.
Oh, my goodness.
Grambling may have recovered that fumble. Tigers saying they have it.
Rule on the field is the snap was muffed by the quarterback, was possessed by the defense. First down, Grambling.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Please put 9 seconds on the game clock. 9 seconds on the game clock.
Yeah, Vaughn was trying to get the football to spike it and did not get the center exchange and fumbles the football And what a break for Grambling as they dodge a bullet here at the end of the half. And you talk about a calamity of mistakes by both ball clubs in this first 30 minutes. Wow.
And a sigh of relief as well on that Grambling sideline.
Man, you better believe it. So unfortunate fumble by Vaughn.
And that is it for the first half. Ken, penalties, that's been the name of the game. And then, of course, a couple of turnovers here in this contest.
Yeah, I don't think either one of these coaches are going to be happy going into the locker room. There may be some furniture moving around in both of those locker rooms coming up at halftime. But Alcorn, luckily with an 8-point lead, a lot of work on for the Grambling Tigers as they have to come out of this locker room and try to figure something out.
Absolutely. Alcorn on top here at halftime at Eddie G. Robinson Memorial Stadium, 14-6, as the Alcorn State University Braves give up the football late.
Has to be focused. They have to take advantage of the first drive offensively and defensively. Let's see how that message plays out here to begin the third quarter.
Our first half stats presented by Pepsi, proud sponsor of the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Well, just about ready for the third quarter, and this is one of those points of the ball game that Coach Joseph preached about earlier this week on his coaching show. Talked about this last week during the open week. Spoke about it again yesterday when we had a chance to speak with him. It's all about the third quarter now.
Yeah, absolutely, and Grambling will get the football first, so we will get an opportunity to see what Miles Crawley and company can do. Crawley had a pretty efficient first half, 12 of 19 of 106 yards. Did have the one interception, but he was pressured a lot by that Alcorn defensive front as they come in with a variety of front looks. Malachi Bailey, you saw him moving all over the field here in that first half. You see him lined up over center, lined up on the edge. They'll bring him on some stunts.
Kickoff recovered by Grambling. A few moves and out to about the 20. We'll make that the 35-yard line. Great return by the Grambling Tigers to start things out. And on the return for the Grambling State University Tigers, Jacoby Belazar, redshirt junior from Baton Rouge.
Saw a really good boost from Dedrick Talbot at running back, the 5'11", 220-pound grad student in that first half for the Tigers, had 4 carries for 41 yards. Let's see if he'll get the call here to start the second half at tailback. Beginning today.
Whew.
That's why it was so important for them to get those first 2 victories against Mississippi Valley and Arkansas Pine Bluff before they got into the teeth of this SWAC schedule.
More like fangs.
Finish your time on the field.
There's a Grambling player down on the field. Last 3 games for Alcorn, 2 out of 3 at home. They'll play Texas Southern at Alcorn. Then they'll make the long trip to Prairie View before ending the season against their nemesis, Jackson State. They get Jackson State at home to end the season.
Wow.
And you know, look, we've seen years where you end the season with a Jackson State game. Jackson may have everything to play for. Alcorn could have everything to play for at that point.
Yeah, that right now when you look at the schedules, look, both of those teams are in first place. So
Talbot came off the field for the Grambling Tigers. Yeah, they're making sure that he's all right. So now Brole Hargrove in the backfield now for the Grambling Tigers.
big third down coming up for Crawley and company.
Crawley looking. Caught. Nick Howard with the big catch.
And again, very soft coverage in the secondary in a third and long situation by Alcorn. Edwin Summerall in coverage.
Another player down, and that's Malachi for the Alcorn State Braves. That's Malachi Bailey. And we'll take the timeout as well. 14-12, Alcorn on top here in the fourth quarter.
Down. It's been the third and long conversions like Grambling that have been problematic so far for the Braves.
Next week, Alcorn will go to Southern University for their homecoming, and I'll be there for that game.
Yeah, I'll be there with you, partner.
Yep. Grambling will celebrate homecoming here against Pine Bluff. So both Louisiana schools celebrating homecoming. Tossed down the field, incomplete to Nick Howard. Almost some celebrating going on there if that catch happens. But some great defense by that Alcorn secondary.
Yeah, it was Summerer in coverage, and he's been a corner that's been playing soft coverage, protecting over the top, and you see why, able to get that paw in there, punch that football out at the last moment to break up the potential touchdown pass.
You see the third downs in this ball game, 7 of 16 for Grambling, 3 of 10 for Alcorn State.
Grambling, they've done a much better job on third down here in this second half.
And Tigers up 15-14 over Alcorn State with 10:58 remaining here in this game. And Harradine, of course, does have the leg. Saw him in practice kick from about 60 yards out. And one of the things that Coach Joseph talked about on the special team side is the consistency of the kicking game.
Yeah, and, you know, he's one of the best in the conference. Coach said, look, if it's a game-winning situation, I trust him from 55. You know, during the course of a game, I'm comfortable from 45. That was a 44-yard field goal attempt there to give Grambling the lead. So the Tigers, you have to give them a lot of credit, as it was like pulling teeth for them. They were fighting their own self in that first half with penalties and turnovers and mistakes. But they stayed the course, and they battled their way back. And now they have a 1-point lead with just under 11 minutes to go in this critical game in the SWAC West Division.
Well, you know, you think about some of the great Grambling kickers that was here. Brian Morgan, talk about him and what he was able to do. Garrett Urban and what he was able to do as a kicker and a punter. Grambling kicks this one off. And Alcorn will get the ball, first down and 10.
Now, what can Xavier Vaughn and this Alcorn offense do? They've had the ball 3 times in this second half. Each possession has ended in a punt.
Flag on the play, by the way.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Kicking team, number 19. 15-yard penalty being forced from the end of the kick.
Well, normally you don't see an unnecessary roughness on a play where you have a touchback.
I mean, I believe this is about the third personal foul / unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against Grambling this afternoon, and this will give the Braves excellent field position now. Moved it from the 25 up to the 40.
From the 25, first down.
Well, you see Coach Joseph all in the ear of his player. Immediate correction.
Yeah, Jalen Gilliard.
Well, the quarterback taking off for Alcorn State, Vaughn. Well, he is just so dangerous no matter what he does. You know, we're speaking about kickers, and we were talking about just how important are we. Spoke about Garrett Urban, Brian Morgan, Galad Landau, who, of course, kicked for Eddie Robinson. New quarterback now in the ball game for Alcorn State. Slips. Gets across the 45 and to about the 46.
Well, I think that was a little bit of a wildcat that time.
And so the new quarterback in the ball game is Tyler Macon. We've heard his name before on as far as being a wide receiver. Now he's at quarterback.
Yeah, they flipped. They got Macon at quarterback, and they got Xavier out here at the wideout position. So a little bit of a wildcat look.
Macon taking off with the football, and he gets the first down. Well, Macon was determined to get that first down. A little wrinkle thrown in here by Coach Cedric Thomas.
Yeah, absolutely. You see Macon, just a little RPO read that time. Sewell out in front, throwing the block, ran into his own defender. The wide receiver, Diablo McGee, took a little shot in the back from Macon, and let's see what they do here now on offense. They'll still keep Macon in at the quarterback position.
Big run to the 44-yard line. And this is just smash mouth slobber knocker football.
Yeah, get those big guys out in front. Macon, 6 foot, 198 pounds, and he's going to come out now. Little equipment issue with that left shoulder pad. So Vaughn will reinsert himself back at the QB spot.
And finally brought down at the 39-yard line.
That is the 40th rush attempt of the afternoon for the Grambling Tigers, and they have stuck to the script. Even when they were down early in this ball game, they stuck to the script, and they have just worn down this Alcorn defense here in the second half.
Well, Coach Joseph said we got to get the run game going. He has definitely done that. And that time just a big mass of humanity surrounding the football.
And Crawley's been able to make some critical third down completions at times as well in this second half to keep drives alive. So they played really good complementary football here in the second half as Grambling.
Here's a give to Bull Hargrove once again. To about the 41-yard line.
Here comes another one of those big third downs, Santoria, 3rd and 9, and here comes Talbert into the ball game as well. And we're looking over here on the near side. Defensive back Summerall, 25, looking to the sideline for the defensive call. He's been given a lot of space in these 3rd and long situations, and Grambling has been able to take advantage of it. Let's see if they go to his side once again.
Marquise Harris is the tight end in the ball game. And Crawley will take the sack and then a fumble, but he gets the ball back.
And that was a big defensive play by Alcorn. Crawley, again, that internal clock. You see the pressure coming off the edge. He had no time to think about that one. That was Tavon Henderson delivering the lick, causing the fumble. Luckily for Crawley, he fell on it. But Grambling is going to have to punt it away, and Alcorn will get another opportunity.
And you can see that punter just holding the ball, and this one takes an Alcorn bounce, and it's down inside the 40. Let's see where the line judge will mark the ball down at. at the 30, some 9 years later, or 11 years later, 1994, over 25,000 fans packed the stadium to see Steve McNair and the Alcorn Braves lose to Grambling 62-56. Pass complete and a first down for Alcorn State.
That's a good drive starter for Xavier Vaughn, getting outside the pocket, finding Damian Jones, the 6-foot sophomore. And you'll see Alcorn go with a little tempo now as they try to come back, trailing by 1.
Now under 3 minutes in the game. Vaughn back. Vaughn looking. That's just good open field tackling by Grambling. And even though you're going to get some positive yardage out of that, if you're the Grambling defense, you need that kind of open field tackling to make sure that you don't get a lot of the, as you say, a lot of the yak.
Absolutely. Last 6 possessions for Alcorn going back to the second quarter ended in an interception, a fumble, and 4 consecutive punts.
Complete to the sideline and another first down for Alcorn.
And again, it's Damian Jones. He's been the go-to guy for Xavier Vaughn in this ball game. That's his 5th reception of the afternoon. Jones only came into this ball game with 10 catches on the season. Brave trying to get into field goal range.
Reached 2-minute timeout.
2 minutes left in this ball game. Vaughn in the shotgun for Alcorn State. They have the ball at the Grambling 37-yard line. Ken, this is a huge possession for Alcorn because with only 2 minutes remaining, Grambling, if they get the ball back to the 23 and a timeout on the field. 21 seconds remaining.
Second timeout called by Alcorn.
So now if you're looking at a field goal, you're looking at 40 yards now.
Take a look at this one again. And again, just great penetration on the inside.
Isaac Washington with a huge tackle for the Grambling Tigers.
So if I'm Alcorn here, I'm not afraid to throw the football. If I can get it to Griffin out in the flat, he's a big load. He can turn it upfield. I'm okay with that. You just have to express to Vaughn, you still have a timeout. So that's fine. You're in no danger there.
And what you don't want a penalty, you don't want a turnover.
Right, or a sack.
Third down for Alcorn State. Vaughn escaping pressure. Vaughn still on his feet. Vaughn inside the 10-yard line. First down, Alcorn.
There are the legs of Xavier Vaughn. Over 800 yards on the season rushing the football, and now he'll just clock it.
8 seconds remaining. Timeout taken.
Before the snap, timeout, Alcorn. That's the final 30-second timeout of the half.
So Alcorn takes their final timeout. They are inside the 10-yard line, well within the range of their field goal kicker, Noah Kiani.
Now keep in mind, the field goal, the ball is on that right hash, so he'll be kicking at an angle. Wow, what an ending.
And I tell you what, that was a huge play by Vaughn. Chucking it under, just taking off with it. A couple of Tigers had an opportunity in order to try to get that tackle, just getting out. He was able to get out of their arms. Big first down.
And Vaughn has only rushed, if you count the sacks, officially for 15 yards today.
Well, I tell you what, there have been a couple of instances where Grambling has blocked extra points and field goals in order to end a game against Alcorn. Happened in Lorman, as a matter of fact, in an overtime game.
Game clock operator, please put 13 seconds on the game clock. 13 seconds on the game clock. The clock will start on the snap.
So there's 13 seconds left here into the ball game. Ball sitting on the right hash. Noah Kiani trying to give Alcorn the lead. Alcorn on top. 17-15 with 7 seconds remaining in the game.
I don't know if my blood pressure can take many more of these, partner.
I'm telling you, man, when you got to take medicine.
Kiani with ice water in his veins. And that was just a squibber through. And then watch the reaction. Oh, little Steph Curry. Oh, put him to sleep. Oh, Chef Kiani with the shot.
There's still 7 seconds remaining, and now Coach Joseph wants to talk to the officials. Wow. What a kick by Kiani.
What a drive by Alcorn. Began at their own 38 with 3 minutes, 26 seconds to go. So a 3-minute, 19-second drive covered 52 yards in 11 plays. They hadn't done anything the entire second half, Santori, and they put together a potential game-winning drive.
7 seconds remaining here in the ball game.
What did Coach Mickey Joseph talk about? Finishing strong.
Finishing strong. If you're Kiani, do you keep this one on the ground?
Yeah. I'd be okay with even kicking it out of bounds to even prevent the return at all.
Kick straight up in the air. And fair catch at about the 25-yard line, make it to 26. Tigers will have enough time for what maybe a play. Wow. Unbelievable drive at the end of this ball game by Alcorn.
And they started off by going with the little short passes to Damian. Defense here for the Braves.
Yeah, you saw Malachi Bailey tell everybody to get back. No penalties. And a little flea flicker action going on. Grambling has the football still. Turnover. Come into Grambling. And